Jalen Brunson is balling out for Team USA. Another breakout season is incoming, and I cannot wait to talk about this one. What's up, guys? My name is Chris. Welcome back to Knicks Digest, and we have a fun one today. We get to talk about everyone's favorite New York point guard, the man who should have been an all-star this year, but is going to be next year, in Jalen Brunson. Just a few days ago, we saw Jalen Brunson have a great game where he put up 11 points, and 8 assists per game. Now, he played even better. Jalen Brunson balled out against Spain, guys. He had 22 points and was 9 for 9 from the field. The man couldn't miss. He was perfect from the field. An insane feat. Sure, he takes more than 9 shots per game on the Knicks, where he's one of 2 All-Stars, not a team full of All-Stars. But it doesn't matter. To go 9 for 9 against one of the best teams in FIBA is incredible. And it was being questioned, was he going to be the starting point guard over Tyrese Halliburton? We know the answer. We know the answer. These debates between is Tyrese Halliburton better than Jalen Brunson, that's not going to end anytime soon. This is going to be something we're in for the long haul. The guys are both young, but we know right now who is the starter in FIBA, who Coach Steve Kerr, one of the best coaches in the business, prefers. I am so thrilled with this, guys. When you look at Brunson's stats on the year, the man has been tremendous for the Knicks. He averaged 24 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, 6 assists, shot 49% from the field, which for a 6'1" point guard, and 6'1" is generous, is incredible. And then obviously 41% from 3, which was tremendous. Those stats went up in the playoffs. He averaged 28, 5, and 5. The man was not messing around come playoff time. He's the main reason that the Knicks got to the second round. Randall was on that bad ankle, and he did not play well. RJ had a rough first 2 games, but picked it up. Josh Hart was good. Emmanuel Quickly was rough, but he's young. He'll get a pass. But at the end of the day, guys, I am so thrilled with how Jalen Brunson is playing right now. The man is on fire. He is going to come into this NBA season fresh off of leading FIBA to a successful team. I'm not going to say gold. If I had to guess, if I had to put money on it, I would say that Team USA is probably going to be the gold medalist. But we don't know yet. We have no idea. So we're just going to speculate. We don't want to upset the fans around the world. But Jalen Brunson is in position to lead Team USA to a FIBA championship, then come back in after the best season the Knicks have had since the turn of the millennium, since my entire life. I was born in 2001. That's the best Knicks season I've ever been alive for. Better than 2013, if you ask me. That's just my opinion. You're going to get arguments for it, but I'd say that's the best season I've ever seen as a Knicks fan. And it was behind Jalen Brunson. He was the bus driver. Now he's going to come in, play so well for the Knicks. He's going to be ready to go. He's going to have R.J. Barrett, who just came off that 31-point performance, which is something that's been covered on Knicks Digest, so we won't get into that. Watch Troy's video on that, guys. He did a great job. And then Julius coming back. He's healthy. Mitchell Robinson's here. They got a good bench. Josh Hart is back. If you haven't seen that, make sure to check that one out. I'm thrilled, guys. Speaking of Josh Hart, also on Team USA. Bestie vibes, as we know, between Brunson and Hart. And I am just so thrilled. I think Brunson's going to have a breakout season. And I think him playing over Tyrese Halliburton is foreshadowing something. And the question is, will this end the Halliburton comparisons? Now, I mean this in 2 ways, guys. As I just said around 2 minutes ago, sure, these debates are never going to end. Tyrese Halliburton is a tremendous player. In no means is this me trying to put him down. If anything, I'm just saying I'm sort of bothered that he got that all-star appearance over Brunson. I get he averaged a double-double. That's pretty hard to do. And Brunson consistently got better as the season went on. So I'm fine with it. But we do get these Halliburton comparisons. And something else that Knicks fans love to harp on, which is something I'm really sick of because it's been a while now. Everyone is still upset that we drafted Obi Toppin over Tyrese Halliburton. I get it. The Knicks made a mistake. I'm not here to defend that draft pick. But who cares now? We have Jalen Brunson. We have the man who, if you ask Steve Kerr, one of the most decorated coaches and one of the most successful players in NBA history, he's going with Jalen Brunson, who's been a leader. Nothing bad has come out about Brunson since FIBA, and on top of it, his play is backing it all up, guys. We are in a great situation for the Knicks right now because Brunson is going off. I think he's going to continue to get better. This was his first year over 20 points per game because it was his first year really getting to work with the ball in his hands. We saw that the more he has the ball, the better the Knicks do and the better he does. I think that's going to go up next year. I think we're going to see more out of Brunson. Remember, Randall's coming off that ankle surgery. Regardless, there will be some rust to shake off that Brunson's just not going to have because he's spending this time playing for FIBA, balling out, leading this team as the starting point guard. He's doing so much right now, basketball-wise. I think he's going to come out like gangbusters, be one of the top scorers in the East. There's a real chance that this man is the starting point guard for the Eastern Conference All-Star team. I swear, I really think there's a real chance. Obviously, as we know, there's then the draft, so it's not exactly East, but you know how they pick the East All-Stars. I don't need to explain all that. We get it. But there's a real chance. I'm really, really excited, guys, because when you look at it, outside of Walt Frazier, the Knicks have not had great point guards, really ever. Derrick Rose was good that year. He had that tremendous playoff game recently, like now over 2 years ago recently. Stephon Marbury had his time, but the Knicks were bad. The Knicks have a great point guard who's only getting better right now. I think he's going to have not another breakout year because it's hard to call him having a breakout year after having a year where he was one of the best players in playoffs. He led the Knicks to the second round for the first time in a decade. It's really more than anything, how much is this man going to improve? How much is Brunson going to keep getting better? And I think the answer is a lot. He came into the NBA older. I want to say he was 22 years old when he got drafted, or at least when his first season with Dallas started when he was a rookie. He put up 9 points a game. His next year he puts up 8. He then goes to 12 and then 16 and then obviously to 24 in year 5 with the Knicks. Sometimes point guards take a while. It took Steve Nash really like 8 years to really get it going. The guy was successful later in his career more than anything else. It took a whole first stint with the Suns where he didn't play that much. And then those 4 years in Dallas before going back to Phoenix to really get it going and win those 2 straight MVPs. Sometimes point guards take time. It's rough, especially when you're playing with Luka. Because Luka's one of the most dominant forces or most ball-dominant forces that we've seen in a very long time. And the Mavericks have fully bought into Luka ball, where he just completely controls the offense. Brunson had 1 year to work with as the real bus driver of the offense. And he had a great year that should have resulted in an All-Star game and All-NBA probably. But I digress from that. What really matters is I think Brunson's going to have another breakout year. We're looking at a guy who realistically could be putting up 28, 29 points per game next year. If you don't believe me, go look at the playoffs. Sure, it's not the largest sample size. The Knicks played, I want to say, they played 11 games this playoffs. But it's when it matters the most. We see guys, sometimes their names rhyme with Belai Bennard, who play like 8 games a year and then play well in the playoffs. Because they're doing this load management. So I don't really get fazed by the small sample size. Brunson looked like he belonged there. We saw that with Dallas. That's really what got him that Knicks contract that people thought was bad. And it clearly wasn't bad. It was clearly a great contract. It's a steal. It's a front-loaded contract. He's getting paid less this year than he is last year. This is going to go on for this season and the next one before he opts out of his player option. And the Knicks are probably going to throw as much money at him as physically possible. Which, if you know me, I don't really care about the Knicks salary cap right now. I don't really believe that the second curtain is going to be something the Knicks are going to hit. They are pretty meticulous when it comes to salary cap. They're not that far over. Plus, the Fournier contract at some point will get dumped. So, that's something that doesn't really concern me at the moment. And at the end of the day, it's Jalen Brunson. That man's going to get his bag. We know that. I am really going off the rails right now because this is so exciting, guys. Like, when you look at it, you can see a guy who's going to be in conversations for the best point guard in the Eastern Conference. I think he already is in that conversation. And to bring it back to Tyrese Halliburton, this guy's on the bench for Jalen Brunson. This guy was an all-star last year. If I had to bet, I'd say Tyrese Halliburton's probably going to be an all-star again this year. But is he going to start over Jalen Brunson? After NBA fans, because remember, 29 of these 30 teams are in the United States. When I'm talking about the NBA, obviously. Most of us are rallying around Team USA to win. As a Knicks fan, whose favorite player is RJ Barrett, if Canada wins, I won't be distraught. Also, I mean, Raptors Digest. So I'll shout out them, give them some love. Shout out to Ben and him and the whole crew as Raptors fans from Canada. But really, at the end of the day, we're all rallying behind Team USA. We're all witnessing this. We're all witnessing Jalen Brunson lead a team. People were upset with this team because they were like, oh, there's not enough stars. There isn't enough star power. This is embarrassing. No, it's not. You guys are underestimating how good Jalen Brunson is at this sport. You give that man a basketball, say, go control the floor, go run the show, go take over a game, go take over an entire New York Knicks playoff run, and do well to the point where Knicks fans are going to say, well, if we beat Miami, we would have beat Boston, we could handle them all year, we could have went to the NBA Finals. This is stuff that Knicks fans can say, and it is because of Jalen Brunson first and foremost. He is now going to be better next year. There is no one who can tell me that there isn't a chance that the Knicks can make the Eastern Conference Finals next year. They added more shooting in Dante DiVincenzo, and outside of that, it's the same young team where the oldest rotational player is 29-year-old Julius Randle. They're all going to be getting better. No one's going to regress in their mid-20s. The only times you ever see that happen is when injuries derail you, or if you're the Sacramento Kings and decide you want to ruin Tyreke Evans' career. And that would never happen anymore because that got ruined because Tyreke was well before his time. Again, I'm getting off track. Jalen Brunson gets me very excited. So we're going to wrap this up by just saying, I believe Jalen Brunson will be an all-star next year. I think his points per game is going to go up. I think we're going to see a guy who's averaging around 28 points per game next year in Jalen Brunson. I'm taking this from playoffs. I'm taking this from FIBA. We've seen this guy in larger sample sizes now show that he is the real deal and that nothing phases this man. He is built for New York. I'm so thrilled. Let me know how you think Jalen Brunson's going to perform next year. Let me know, do you still wish we had Tyrese Halliburton as our starting point guard nowadays, now that we got Brunson showing who runs the Eastern Conference point guard slot? Who runs Team USA at the point guard? Talk to me in the comments. I love seeing what you guys have to say. Please let me know. And guys, as per usual, I've been talking to the Knicks. Jalen Brunson told me that if you guys subscribe to the channel, then he'll win MVP next year. But he needs all of you watching to subscribe ASAP so he can get motivated again. I don't know why they talk to me, but their spirits come to me and tell the fans, subscribe to Knicks Digest. We got videos coming out basically every day. We're pumping out content for you guys. We know it's sort of a dead zone in the NBA, and we're all sitting here missing basketball, missing Knicks basketball, because we got some FIBA, as we've seen, but we're missing Knicks basketball. So we're going to keep pushing Knicks content on you guys. Get everyone so excited for this next NBA season. I've never been as excited for a season as I have been with this one. So make sure to comment down below what you guys think about Brunson, what he's going to look like next year, what type of player are we getting, is he making an all-star team, is he making All-NBA, will he be a starter, and how far can Jalen Brunson lead this Knicks squad in the 2023-2024 NBA season? Let me know below, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm out. And remember, go Knicks.